All right, I wanted to do a review, unboxing, and comparison of this MANNKITCHEN Pepper Cannon to my standard pepper mill, the one that I'm replacing, and see if this actually stands up, if it's worth the extra cost compared to a typical pepper mill. So this one is the MK3214. Not sure how many versions they've actually had, but that's what the box says. It comes in a fairly nondescript box, just a little diagram of the actual pepper cannon right there. If you open this up, it's going to have a little informational packet inside, some foam, and then here is where you'll actually have the pepper cannon. So in here, when you pull this out, you'll immediately feel there's tons of weight to this because this is milled aluminum and it's hefty. Everything about this feels solid. One thing that I noticed right away is that this spins really, really well right here. You can hear that spinning. Granted, there's some pepper in here already. That's why you're hearing some rattling. And normally it's completely silent when it's spinning, but it spins really well. Another thing you'll find in the box is these O-rings. And this is actually because of an upgrade that they did. In previous reviews that I've seen of this, people's biggest complaints is that they had to unscrew this cap at the bottom. This cap to the bottom is solid, and what it is used for is to protect it. But also, you can mill some pepper, pull it off, and then use as a cup to dump it somewhere before you unscrew this nail. It's got an O-ring, and it just goes on there. So you can see right here, pepper everywhere right here. You can see that it's smooth on the inside, and then you can push this on, and the O-ring holds that in place. So it just makes it a lot easier to take this on and off, and you don't lose it as quickly. So we're going to do a little test here if you want me to make a mess, and we're going to see how this performs with my regular pepper mill. Excuse me. There's this adjustment on the bottom where you can turn this, and there's different clicks. I believe there's 23 clicks, they said. So the more you turn it this way, the finer it gets. We're going to put it on one of its finer settings. Let's try here. I think that's one of its finest settings right there. And then we're going to put the other one on its fine setting and see how we fare from this. Where I put this one over here. The way I think I'm going to do this is I'm going to do like 6 cranks with each one. They're on fine settings. This is just a standard one I purchased a long time ago from Amazon. Nothing special. It's just a cheap pepper mill like you'd expect from, a lower cost pepper mill. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to spin this 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of missed that one. And then that is what we've got from this one. It's actually not bad, all things considered. This pepper cannon, one thing I didn't say is that in order to fill this up, there's a little button on the top, which is super convenient. You press that, it comes off. I'm letting peppercorns drop out over here. Move those back over. And then in order to get that back on, it's super easy. You just put it on the top like this, push a little bit, and then it clips into place. I really like how convenient that is. You don't need tools. You don't need to unscrew anything. It's easy to fill when you need to. So let's put this down next to it. And with the pepper cannon, now we're going to do 6 cranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and oh my goodness. So that is a crazy difference right there. Obviously, you guys can see that difference, 6 cranks. Even if I had done one of them slightly harder than the other, it would not have equaled that big of a difference. So let's now put it on one of its coarser settings. Okay, this is almost like cracked pepper, I think, at this point for the pepper cannon. And then this one also has a little adjustment on the top. We're going to open that up a little bit, and then we'll see where we're at. So we're going to do this one again down below. 6 cranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's still a decent amount of pepper, actually, right there. Not as coarse as I would have liked it. And granted, this isn't quite as fine as I would have expected it to be, but I might have not dialed it all the way down. Let's try this 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And wow. All right, look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but that's almost as tall as my finger is high right there. That is an insane amount of pepper. That's not even on the all the way open cutter, because when you put it all the way open, it's more like just kind of cracked pepper. So it's going to let out a ton. But this is about the consistency. maybe a little bit less than this that I wanted. I was going to put it on a brisket, cover something like that, put it on a pork butt. And I love that it's able to put out this much pepper. The biggest reason I bought this was not necessarily just for the quality, but I wanted to use fresh ground pepper when I'm doing a lot of the barbecue stuff that I do, like briskets and pork butts. And for those of you who have cooked stuff like that, you know it takes a ton of pepper, and doing it by hand is normally not possible unless you have something like this. So that's why I purchased this, and I'm a sucker for things that are made well and made in America. And this, you can tell, is just going to stand up forever. Something like this might work, but it's just cheap plastic, it's loose, it moves, you know it's not going to last. It can break easily. No part about this makes me think anything in this will break. Everything is either metal or aluminum. There's very loose light tolerances in all of this. So there's nothing wiggling around, nothing moves. It feels exactly as it's supposed to. So it is a lot more than a typical pepper mill. But if you're looking for something that can put out a whole lot more peppers, as you can see right here, and how the quality to stand up to time, I think this is an excellent option, surprisingly.